Fellas, welcome to week 6 of the JJDL Season 3 Qianpao Division. I'm Lamaone, coach of your San Antonio Espers, and this week we're taking on Coach Stakipi and the Steel City Surge. You can check him out down in the description below, along with all the JJDL coaches. And shout out to John Jr. for hosting the league. You know, he's the GOAT, letting us participate. If you don't want to stick around and watch the team builder, you know, there'll be a time on screen right about now that'll tell you when the battle will start, but if you do stick around, I appreciate it. Before I get into the team builder, I just want to say that I'm sorry for not having done team builders for the last few weeks. I've just been super busy with, you know, testing seasons coming up for me, and I've just had some IRL commitments, so I haven't gotten team builders out for the last few weeks, but hopefully this week and for the rest of the season, I should have team builders done for all the games. But with that out of the way, without further ado, if you will, my opponent has a very scary Sun team, much like I do. They have a Gouging Fire, a Jirachi, Landorus Incarnate, which, you know, acts as a sort of dichotomy to my Landorus Therian, Samurott Hisui, Azelf, Torkoal, Lilligant Hisui, Bellybolt, Arboliva, and Dashbun. Some things to know about my opponent's team: they have Open Terra Azelf and Terra Arboliva. As far as hazards go, they've got Stealth Rocks on Torkoal, Landorus, Jirachi, and Azelf, and Spin on Torkoal, and there's no defoggers, no spikes, no toxic spikes. If I had to guess what 6 they'd bring, I think they'd bring Gouging Fire. You know, Gouging Fire hits real hard in the sun if it's like a Choice Band set or even just a Dragon Dance set. My team doesn't really switch in too well to it. I think Landorus shows up. Samurott Hisui, my team has a pretty decent water weakness, and I think like a Choice Scarf Samurott could make a whole lot of sense into my team. Azelf, I think, shows up. I think Terra Water Azelf could be good. Something like that. I think Torkoal has to show up to set up the sun. And then for the last spot, I think Lilligant. It's like a toss-up between Lilligant, because my team, like Gouging Fire, when it's in the sun, my team has a hard time kind of dealing with Lilligant. Terra Arboliva could be pretty scary if it was Terra Fairy, and they didn't go for the Azelf angle. And Bellybolt, I'm pretty underprepped for. To be honest, I don't think Dashbun would show up, but you know, it could be a Chiyu switch in maybe if he values that. After losing 3 weeks straight, I went on an introspective journey, if you will, where I really grew as a person a lot. And what I've learned is that I've been playing way too passively in my games. I've been playing Terra too passively. I keep losing to like a Stallmon or a Stallcore, and I'm just trying to avoid that this week. I'm facing something like Bellybolt, which isn't like the scariest stall Pokemon, but that's why I said it's about Slowking last week in prep, and then Slowking never died. So we're gonna try to avoid that. And starting off, we're gonna play as aggressive as possible. We're bringing Life Orb, Tornadus Therian. Now this is not something I've brought in the past. You know, I've typically brought the more bulkier Assault Vest Pivot, maybe heavy duty boots. But this week, I'm leading with this Tornadus Therian. I'm gonna try to get a nasty plot off. If I see Lilligant and I see some Torkoal action going on, I'll probably click Agility so that I'll be faster in the sun. And then the combination of Air Slash and Heat Wave pretty much hits everything. If I can get like 2 nasty plots off and an Agility, which is like best case scenario, then I think Tornadus just wins the game. Especially defensive Bellybolt could be a problem for me, and I do expect that to show up, but he could bring physically defensive for something like Metagross. But that would be something I have to worry about. We're max special attack, 208 speed with the timid nature. This outspeeds the whole team, and yeah, we're just trying to get a couple nasties off and try to do some big damage here. Next up, keeping the theme up with big damage, we've got Choice Specs, Charles Youth. He's got the Dark Pulse, he's got Flamethrower, He's got Fire Blast, he's got Overheat, he's got the 3 fire moves, and we're just max timid, just so we can speed Taya, max speed Jirachi. This is just kind of meant to force some uncomfortable switches with his slower mons like Belly Bolt, like Gouging Fire, stuff like that. Like I said earlier, I do have to be a little bit mindful of Dashbun's ability, which I cannot think of the name of right now. Just giving it an immunity to fire, and then it can body press me back, and that wouldn't be great for me. Next up, we've got the Choice Scarf Landorus Therian, a classic. He's rocking his Intimidate as per usual. Got U-Turn, Crunch, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. We're just max Jolly again on this guy. If he runs the Dragon Dancing set, we'll speed tie that. If he's max speed, or if he's like a speed boosting set, which I've seen. I don't know if that would be super great because attack boosting just hits so hard. But you know, we're just here to be an offensive pivot, try to keep that momentum in my favor, because this team ultimately is meant to like break walls down really heavy, try to keep momentum in my favor in the mid game, and in late game have Landorus or maybe Chi-Yu or one of the last Pokemon I have in the back, just kind of clean shop and just get me to the finish line. We're running Crunch for the Azelf, we're running Stone Edge for Landorus, and everything else Earthquake hits pretty decently. Terra Arbalava can be a thorn in this guy's side, but I mean that means that they're not bringing Terra on the Azelf, so Crunch will be good for that. Next up, we've got Professor X, the Metagross, coming along. He's rocking the Chesto Berry. You know, he's feeling a little bit hungry this week with the clear body. Rest, Earthquake, Psychic Fangs, and Heavy Slam. We're in a max HP, 228 attack with a 32 special defense and the Adamant Nature. This guy is just meant to be a bulky attacker who could still punch holes into their team. This guy is going to be my primary check to pretty much Dashbun, Azelf, and Jirachi. And we're running Chesto Rest over something like Stealth Rocks and Leftovers, because in mocking with Colette, Shadow Colette, I just found that Rest and the full just one-time heal got me a lot more value than Leftovers did, because Metagross kind of switches in on a lot of moves, and if Azelf is carrying something like Fire Punch, or like Shadow Ball or something like that, or Jirachi's carrying Fire Punch, excuse me, and Azelf's carrying something like Shadow Ball, then Rest will ultimately be better. Just as like a one-time like boom, full health, and then I eat the Chesto Berry, and then you have to deal with me all over again. Psychic Fangs is just there in case they bring like Dual Screen's Belly Bolt, which is not something that I super expect to show up, but something that I am mindful of, because in mocks it kind of let Landorus do whatever it wanted, which I was not a huge fan of. Next up, we've got potentially our most important member, and the member that I'm trying to use the most aggressively. We've got our Terra Captain, Walking Wake, with his Choice Scarf, and the Photosynthesis, Flip Turn, Flamethrower, Hydro Steam, and Draco Meteor. We've got 64 HP, we've got the 216 special attack and the 224 speed with the Timid Nature. This is allowing us to outspeed Lilligant and Hisui. And spoilers, we're not bringing any Sun this week, but the Choice Scarf is meant to sort of not let Lilligant and Hisui get it doesn't let it get into an advantageous position, because if the Lilligant goes for a Victory Dance against me, I will still be faster with Choice Scarf, and Terra Dragon Draco Meteor will take it out. If we're in the Sun, with my Photosynthesis boost and the Choice Scarf, we will still be faster than Lilligant. If it gets a Victory Dance up and it's in the Sun, it's a different story, but hopefully we just don't let it get there. I'm just trying to play this thing very aggressive. The first turn that this thing gets in, I'm going to click Terra Dragon, I'm going to click Draco Meteor, and hopefully something just drops. I know that Dashbun could be the switch in, but if Dashbun switches in on the Draco, I can always just go Metagross, I can play it slower for a couple turns until I can get Walking Wake back in and I can click again. Um, last couple weeks, I've been playing Terra way too conservatively, way too passively. And this week, I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to, you know, make the first moves, and just try to, you know, keep the momentum in my favor. Finally, you know, he hasn't shown up for a few weeks, and we're bringing him off the bench. We've got the Wheezing. He's got the Rocky Helmet and the Levitate. He's rocking the Toxic, the Pain Split, the Clear Smoke, and the Strange Steam. Max Bold with 4 special attack. You already know how it goes. This thing can stop Lilligant in its tracks completely. It can counter the Samurott, and it can kind of take on Gouging. Gouging, if it boosts up a couple times, can be a problem for this. But between things like Flare Blitz Recoil and, you know, Strange Steam and Rocky Helmet Chip, Gouging Fire is going to be taking a lot of damage back, which will let something like Scarf Wake come in, or Scarf Lando if he hasn't gotten a Dragon Dance up yet, things like that. And he's just kind of here to stop all the physical attackers. I know I'm walled by Jirachi because I'm not carrying Flamethrower or anything, but I think that's okay. I have Waste Deal Jirachi. Like I said, we've got the Metagross, we've got the Landorus, we've got the Chi-Yu, so I don't think not being able to stay in on Jirachi is all that bad. And, you know, I think, you know, this team together has all the pieces that we need to really, you know, start off aggressive, stay aggressive, and try to just keep the upper hand. Make sure to check out my opponent in the description below with all the rest of the JJDL coaches, you already know. And I'll see you at the battle. Alright, here we are at the battle. We see he's got the, let me write this down. We see he's got the Azelf, which he has informed me is Terra Water. Just something I did think about, to be honest. Got the Belly Bolt, not the Belly Bolt. He's got Lando Incarnate, so we got both the Landers forms here. He's got Samurai Sui, got H, he's got the Torkoal, and he's got the Jirachi. I'm just gonna lead Tornadus. Hopefully I actually record my team builder this week. If I did, the strategy, hope he leads Torkoal rather, excuse me. Try to get a nasty plot up and just try to do as much damage as I can. We do not see Gouging Fire, which is incredible. Yeah, I'm just gonna lead Torn and we're gonna send it. Good luck, have fun to my opponent's the Kippy, and let's get into it. Alright, we see he's going to lead Lanod. Not what I expected. I expected the Torkoal lead. But this is alright. Let's see, if we're going against a Landorus here, a little Lando action. Air Slash is doing about half. Psychic could hurt. But he could U-turn. Things he could do, he could just go into Belly Bolt. In which case, you know, getting a +2 could hurt a good bit. I could just nasty plot off rip. I mean, that was the game plan. Let's see if he's got something like Stone Edge here on this Landorus, and he's got some attack investment that could KO me. I don't really want to risk that this early, but I think he could just U-turn. I'm just gonna Air Slash, man. No, I'm gonna plot. I'm gonna stick to the plan. I'm gonna plot. He just switches out. This is incredible. What is he going to? He goes into Chunks. That sounds like a Belly Bolt if I've ever heard. Yes it is. And we're gonna go for the plot. We are now +2 against Mr. Bellison Bolt here. And if he's rocking something like, let's just say Thunderbolt, that could hurt a good bit. He's doing a good chunk, but he's not KOing me unless he's got some investment here. If I proc the Electromorphosis, he is KOing me, however. I could plot again. Is that equal? I am risking a paralysis. If I'm paralyzed, how fast am I? I would still be faster than this thing. I could plot again. He didn't bring Lilligant. I mean, I could do it again. I could also just Heat Wave and see how much damage this does. But if I activate Electromorphosis, I'm gonna plot again because I don't want to activate the Electromorphosis and I want to just clean one-shot this thing. He goes for Discharge, which bring me down to 107, and does paralyze me. 299 minus 107, 192 damage with Discharge. That's standard for no investment. I mean, I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, I set this up to do this. I might as well send it. This was my plan. I'm gonna Heat Wave. He might switch out. In which case we're gonna get a big Heat Wave on something else. He's probably just gonna end up staying in here though. Play Bolt has a Discharge. No special attack, and we get paralyzed. This is incredible. Belly KOs Torn T. And fellas, this is as good as this could be going. That's amazing. I'm just gonna go right into Chi-Yu. And I'm just gonna click Overheat, I think. The Torn strategy did not come to fruition. This is great. You love to see it. Yeah, we're just gonna click Overheat. I don't see an amazing Overheat switching on his team. He could be Assault Vest Samurott, which could be bad. Kind of bummed out that the Torn strategy did not work, but you know, we'll make it work. Hopefully he switches out and he just gives me something. Like if he could go LANDOS, that could be cool. He could go Torkoal. We're gonna miss Overheat. This is going great. He's got Thunder Wave. We are now paralyzed. We see T-Wave. He could be making a play into Samurott, which I could predict. What would I do in that situation? Not a whole lot, so we're just gonna click Overheat again. And we're gonna get paralyzed. This is going amazingly. And we see Muddy Water, and he is going to miss as well. Fellas, this is peak entertainment. Call the label. We're gonna click it again. And we're going to connect this time. And it does not KO, so it is especially defensive. We see the Electromorphosis pop off here. He's gonna Muddy Water. And it's gonna do like half. We're gonna drop our accuracy. Oh, do I go for it? He's lefties. What would his play at this point be? He could switch. He could also try to get some recovery back. I'm gonna click it just so he can't slack off here. If he switches into something like Samurott, I'll just go Wheezing. Hopefully we connect this Overheat. That would be amazing. But we are not off to an amazing start, I would say. He's just gonna switch out here. Most likely into the Samurott, if I had to guess. Goes in Shredder. That sounds like the Samurott. Good nickname. I'll mess with it. We're going to Overheat and we're going to miss. Incredible. We're just gonna switch out, go right into Wheezing. No need to really overthink this play here. If he's just max attack Jolly, he goes for SD? Excuse me. We don't do that around here. If he's like Life Orb, let's say, a Razor Shell is still not going to KO us, and Strange Steam in return is doing a good chunk. I mean, this Wheezing is here for the Samurott. So we're going to stay in. He's going to switch out. Okay, so we see it has SD. He goes into Spirit. That sounds like Jirachi. And it is. We're going to Strange Steam. We're going to do about 6. That was a bit more than the 6 I was expecting. Let's pull up the ruler here. That did a little over 10, which means he's just max HP. We're gonna go into Metagross here. Now we could call. So I'm just gonna go Metagross here. On something like a Meteor Beam or like a Psychic. Now, we could call the Landorus switch here on something like an Earthquake. You could also think I'm gonna knock off here. We don't really know much about this Jirachi yet. Other than it took 10. He's just gonna go for Psychic. How much is this doing to me? Brings it down to 325. 363 minus 325. He does 38 damage with the Psychic. I think he's got a little bit of investment actually. It means he's max HP. He can only reach that if he's max HP timid, or if he's like modest. Earthquake is free here. He could go into Lando. In which case, what would I do in return? Go into my own Lando maybe. But Heavy Slam could also be okay. Heavy Slam is doing about a third. I really want to call this Landorus switch. What else would he do into my Metagross? He could go Torkoal, which probably isn't a terrible idea. I just don't want to let that Lando in for free. I'm gonna click Earthquake, and we're gonna let the Lando in for free. It appears. Franklin. That does not sound like... I think that's Torkoal. We are not gonna let the Lando in for free. This is amazing. And we're gonna do about half, which means he's not fully physically defensive. Fellas, we're gonna do it again. No need to overthink this. If he goes Lando, we'll deal with it. Am I missing something, or did the sun not get set up? He's gonna switch out. Okay, he's probably just gonna go Lando this turn. I should have Heavy Slam, but that's okay. That is not... Okay, he's gonna go into Azelf this turn, actually. I lied. We're gonna Earthquake and do nothing. I don't have a need to switch here, really. What can this Azelf... I mean, this Azelf could be carrying Shadow Ball, I suppose. Category. Let's say he's got some special moves in here. He could be carrying a Flamethrower. He's Terral Water. Let me make sure I didn't miss the sun going up. Yeah, there is no sun to be had this matchup. Sun is banned. Flamethrower is doing about half. Heavy Slam is KOing this. If he goes into a water type, let's say, then Psychic Fangs is doing a good chunk. I kind of want to call the Psychic, or the Terra here, and just go for Psychic Fangs. I could just also Heavy Slam. If he Terras, I'm just gonna Slam here. No need to really overplay. He's gonna Terra, that is fine. I should have called this. I need to start acting on my instinct a little bit more, because I'm calling these plays, but I'm not going for them. I mean, Heavy Slam's still doing about half. If he's got... We're at 325. He just goes for U-turn. Down to 272. He did 53 damage to us. Does that tell us anything? He is not negative attack nature, is what that tells us. So he's like naive or something. So Azelf is not timid. Perchance. I believe that is what that's telling us. Now, as to what he wants to do here, I mean, we're clicking a big Heavy Slam. That could be bad for him. If he gives us Belly Bolt, that would be great. Alternatively, he could let us get some damage on Landorus. Or maybe even Samurott. That would be incredible. Personally, I would be a big fan of that. Franklin. Going back into the Torkoal. The Sunless Torkoal. We're going to go for Slam here. And we're going to do about 25. If we look at Torkoal here, he's not physically defensive, just based on how much damage I'm doing here. Psychic Fangs is free. I could also EQ again. But he could just be sacking this. Do I want to reveal Psychic Fangs yet? Or do I want to just Earthquake? I mean, Earthquake is fine, right? I mean, do I lose anything by revealing Psychic Fangs, though? I'm just gonna Earthquake. If he switches out again, which he doesn't, okay. Meta KOs Torkoal. And Meta's put him in a pretty interesting spot. He could be going Landorus this turn, which is something that would put me in quite the spot of bother, I will not lie. What I do when Landorus comes in, I'm not sure yet. Maybe just sack Chi. As far as other things I could do, I could go Weezing, but I kind of want Weezing on for Samurott. If you click Psychic, I'm in a bad spot. He's SD. So Torkoal's gone, right? Sunless Torkoal is now with the Sunshine. Shout out LeBron James. He goes into Lanog. And last time he just hard switched on my Torn, which told me he might not be Scarf U-turn. I could just go into my own Lando. Psychic is doing a lot. Could be kind of scary. I could also just sack Chi-Yu. Now, as far as Chi-Yu's use left in this game, it's to overheat Belly Bolt and then die. I don't know what use Chi-Yu has left, so I'm just gonna let it go down. If he clicks Psychic, I'm gonna look like a G. And if he clicks Earth Power, then that's what was gonna happen anyway. So most likely, Lando KOs Chi-Yu. There it is. So Chi-Yu's gone now. We get a free switch. Fellas, this could be the Sacred Walking Wake turn. Or I just click Hydro Steam. How much is Draco doing to a Landorus? If we go into Wakingheimer. Draco, fellas, Draco's looking pretty great right about now. We're gonna go into it, no fear. We can also click Flip Turn, but I went into this game thinking I want to punch holes, and what better way to punch a hole than to Terra right now and click Draco Meteor. I've been playing a little too conservative with it, and I think it's about time I woke up and started clicking buttons, right? Let's get it. This Draco is doing 100% minimum, 100.9 to 119 if he's no HP investment. It's looking like a good day. And we live anything in return if he's Timid Life Orb. I'm just saying, the grass is greener on the side of Elation. Now what am I saying? I don't know. But I'm saying it, and I'm sticking with it. If he goes into something like Jirachi, that could be not in my best favor. Just switch out. So something's taking this Draco, and it's gonna hurt. It might sack Belly. Who's it? I don't know if this Azelf is gonna want to take this. He could be like AV, I suppose. But he's a water type. And we're clicking a big dragon, but yeah, unless he's AV, he's not taking this. We're gonna hit the Draco. This should be farewell to our good friend Azelf here. It is not. This is an AV Azelf. That is the only way that that lives. But fellas, I'm feeling like clicking it again. Yeah, that did 80%, which means it's like AV max HP. Oh wait, hold on. This could just be the wrong nature. Let me just put Timid. Yeah, that's about right. But I mean, I'm just gonna click it again. This would reveal that I'm Scarf, but that's okay. We're gonna click Draco again. Unless I'm missing something. Wake. KO's Azelf, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta click the buttons sometimes, and they pay off. This Azelf is gone. He now knows that I am Scarf, most likely. But I'm now -4, and will need to switch out. Shout out to Colette for telling me to just take risks and click the big buttons, right? It didn't work out with the Tornadus, but it's working out with Walking Wake here. And we're gonna try to keep this train moving. Try to get there, you know what I'm saying? We've evened up the game. It is now 4-4. Belly Bolt's quite chipped. This could be the Rachi turn. If he goes Rachi, what is stopping me from going Metagross again? Jirachi. He's max HP, we know that. He's probably max speed. Goes into Spirit. Sounds like a very Jirachi joint, and then here it is. Future me, cut that out. What fire moves does this get? It gets Fire Punch, not a lot for Metagross. He doesn't get any ground moves. I guess it could be like Shadow Ball. Does this thing get Shadow Ball? It does get Shadow Ball. But if it's carrying Shadow Ball, we already know it's max HP. If he's carrying the Shadow Ball here, it's... we live 2, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, 272. Let's make sure we're not throwing here. Shadow Ball is a 3-hit KO, so we're gonna be able to live 2 and get a rest off. And we've got this game back in our hands here. He could also U-turn instead of Rocks. But Rocks in that position is crazy. He goes for Icy Wind. 272 to 244. 272 to 244 with Icy Wind. You did 28 damage. Icy Wind? How much did he do? 44, 28 with Icy Wind? Yeah, he's... Okay, so let's write this down. So this is max HP, max special attack. And most likely timid. If he's rocking the max HP, max special attack, we do live another Shadow Ball. He could go Landorus this turn. I want to predict that, and I'm going to click Heavy Slam. He does switch out. Show me the Landorus, baby. Fellas. This is incredible. I'm going to go for the Slam. And we almost take it out. Landorus, what does that tell us? It tells us that we're switching out, but... We did a whole lot. That is no HP investment. Landorus is low. What did we do last time? I went into my Landorus last time. Or no, it's actually you. I'm going to go into my Landorus now. We're going to keep Metagross around. I mean, that thing is walling out Jirachi. This guy's a threat, and I recognize that he's a threat. But we're going to go into this guy. He clicks Earth Power. We're immune to that. That's incredible. Now, what does he have left? He's got Belly, Lando, Samurai, Jirachi. Crunch is looking pretty decent here. How much is my Landorus doing to his Landorus? He's at about 15%. U-turn is a roll to kill. Don't really want to risk that. I'm just going to click Crunch. Which lets him into Samurai after, but I can just go Wheezing. And then we're chilling. He's gonna stay in. We're gonna take out his Landorus. Landorus Therian is the better Landorus. I don't know how to tell you guys, but this is proof right here. Lando T KOs Lando I. This is incredible. He's gonna go into Shredder. That is that Samurai. Now, I did not remember Samurai Hisui. Does this thing get Psycho Cut? It does not get Psycho Cut. Okay. So we're just gonna go back into Wheezing. No need to super overplay here. He could SD again, but that's fine. If he attacks me, he's gonna take Rocky Helmet Chip. He could make a prediction and go into something like Jirachi, but then we're just gonna go back into Metagross. No need to overplay that. You know, just keep this wall off. He's got just Belly, Samurai. He goes for the Aqua Cutter. That brings it down to 249. 334 minus 249 is 85 damage with Samurai. He does not have a lot of attack investment here, which is perfectly fine. He could just go into Jirachi. Am I going to predict that? Do I have a need to predict that? Not really. I could just Pain Split, get some health back, and then if he goes... Oh, he's gonna SD. This is incredible. He's now +2. We're gonna Pain Split. I'm gonna get some health back. He's gonna be brought down. And now, he's just about in range for Strange Team. Aqua Cutter is... I mean, Razor Shell is like the strongest thing you can hit me with, but I don't think he has it. He's gonna SD again. No, this is crazy. Fellas, is this crazy? I believe it is. 'Cause this is fine. Oh, we KO it. Great. Even better. Oh, that was a crit. That might have mattered. KOs Samu H. I don't know if that mattered a super amount there, because I can always just go Wake after and revenge it. I think. He could try to Sucker Punch Mind Game me there, but that's kind of okay. He's back into Jirachi. All he's got left is Jirachi and Belly Bolt. Do I need this guy anymore? Not really. I could get off a cheeky little Pain Split. We go back into Jirachi here. He's got like the Psychic. And he's like max special attack. He's like timid. We are most likely being KO'd. I'm not gonna lie. But keeping this thing around to Toxic Belly Bolt could be good. Like I said, we're just gonna go... I could also go Landorus and just start clicking EQ. How much am I doing with Landorus with EQ? I'm doing a good chunk. I'm just gonna try to go Landorus and win the game. Because all he's got left is Belly and Rachi. I can EQ twice and maybe win. Icy Wind here could be a good play. but I'm still scarfed. He goes for Meteor Beam. Fellas, this is crazy. I completely forgot about this. I knew that this was a set that could be brought, but I forgot that it was a thing that could be done. But as long as we live, which we do, we could just Earthquake twice and probably win. What I'm looking at is Earthquake's doing 88%. That looks about range. If he goes into belly, he loses his +1. We're gonna Earthquake here. How much is that gonna do? We're gonna take it out, okay. Lando T KOs Jirachi. And if I'm not overstepping here, I believe Lando T is also going to KO Belly Bolt. Here he is, chunked in all of his chunky glory. We're gonna click EQ again. And I believe that your San Antonio Espers are going to end the losing streak. Let's go, baby. We're going to end the losing streak. We're going to win 4-0. And we're back on the board, baby. That's what I'm talking about. GG's to my man Stikippy. Make sure to check him out down in the description below. Watch their side of the battle. Show some love in the comments. You know, leave a like on his video. Do all that. While you're down there, check out the rest of the JJDL coaches in the description. He played a wonderful game. I think I played to my game plan. I'm trying to keep momentum up, trying to play a step ahead. And I think finally using my Terra offensively to really get out there, really punch some holes out there. Finally kind of, it overwhelmed him a little bit, I want to say, because that Draco against Azelf was pretty big. And then my Metagross just being a huge tank, huge wall, just staying right in his face. I think also helped a whole lot at stopping Jirachi and all that. But yeah, GG's to my opponent. I'm the Mountaid, and I'll see you next week. Later, gang.